A deal that delivers stability and predictability. After months of negotiations, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says the framework trade agreement with the US will provide support for Europe's metals sector.
We will work together to ensure fair global competition and to reduce barriers between us. Tariffs will be cut and a quota system will be put in place.
But the sector remains on shaky ground, with European steel and aluminium among the products still subject to a 50% tariff. A quota system would allow a certain volume of goods into the US free of that tariff rate, but details remain in short supply. The US and EU have pledged to hammer out a plan to protect their metals industries from overcapacities, most notably from China. But the director at the European Centre for International Political Economy, Hosuke Lee Makiyama, says this agreement won't undo underlying tensions.
As far as Washington is concerned, China is no longer the main problem. Europe is the biggest source of deficit and the biggest trade irritant. And it's also the biggest commercial rival in terms of exports on the global market, because in the end, China is nowhere close.
Europe's steel sector brings in more than $90 billion per year for the EU's economy. But it's an industry that's under pressure. The EU share of global steel production has shrunk to roughly 8% over the past decade. The European Steel Association says US duties applied this year have had a destructive impact on a sector already hurt by falling demand and global overcapacity. While a deal with the US might help limit the damage, industry leaders are calling for more concrete assurances from the European Commission. Earlier this year, the EU tried to provide just that. The Commission's Steel and Metals Action Plan seeks to address underlying issues like overcapacity and rising energy costs, while also creating a framework to boost competitiveness. But the Director General of the European Metals Association, Eurometaux, James Watson, says trade tensions with the US are a spanner in the works.
We have no details at this stage of what that ring fence looks like, and nor have we heard any particular news from the United States on how this will actually be done. So at the moment we're still feeling very much in the dark, and all we know that exists are the 50% tariffs.
Calls for those duties to be scrapped persist, but if the tariffs remain, then industry leaders will want help to forge ahead with building a more resilient sector. William Denselow, CNA, Brussels.